realized that we actually didn't start recording.
Oh.
I just realized it right now.
I thought that may have been the case.
Welcome back to Podcast the Hero. We already did 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Before I actually hit the button.
Some good stuff, too.
Yeah, real good.
You know what?
Rosie O'Donnell's chin hair.
Yeah.
One really long testicle hair.
Mm-hmm. Pomade
we introduced
in your pubis.
Full pubis.
Mm-hmm. Full pubis on your ball.
Yep. We introduced the song, so we're not going to do that again.
Nope.
The episode was sponsored. Yeah. You're never going to know what that was. I can't spell the name of this song.
Me neither.
Like, if I have to type it out, I really need autocorrect.
Solil. Solil. O-Q-U-Y.
So you can spell it. So you're a liar.
Yep. I mean, that's one thing you should know about me.
Babyface Nelson.
Yes.
Is the subject of the song.
Mm-hmm.
Feel like this might be. It's very much from his point of view.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're stepping into the body and mind.
Yeah, and fudging history a little bit.
And it's an angry fucking song.
Yeah, I guess so. Insofar as like all our songs are kind of fucking angry.
No, but this one's like this one's angry.
Yeah.
Angrier.
Huh.
I feel like.
Yeah, you could be right. I'm not angry at him.
No, but like, was this did you feel like you could get angrier singing this song because you were this really angry
sort
dude
of playing
like
a character,
playing this character?
Yeah, I guess so. This song has like a sister song about John Dillinger, and the two songs are really instrumentally part one and part two. I forget what the fucking that one's called. Some starts with an R, but I can't remember. Reverie, Soliloquy, and Reverie. And so they were written musically together. So I tried to find a line to draw between them lyrically as well. And so I chose two fucking 1930s gangsters.
Mm-hmm.
1940s? I don't know if I can know. I got the date wrong in the actual song as well.
You did?
Yeah.
Perfect.
In
the 1916 date?
Yeah. It's in 1916 at 7 years old. He shot a
kid in the mug.
Yeah. He shot that kid in 1921 at 12 years old.
Oh, there you go.
And that was pointed out to me after the record came out by MF Yeti on Discord or Twitch. Huh? It was like the day after it came out. MF Yeti was like, yeah, I found something wrong. Like, fuck. Cool.
I feel like I remember that from the Twitch streams that came up once, and I didn't know if it was like, is it poetic license, right? Or is it...
It was an accident, yeah.
It was?
Yeah. The weirdest thing is, like, it's so specific. Like, where did I get that fucking date and age from?
Probably from some website. The internet never lies.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. But, like, it's like... I think it was a matter of, like, while doing Palimpsest, I had so many fucking, like, numbers bouncing around in my head, like, the day things happened, the year things happened, and I just fucking got sloppy, which is unfortunate for me.
The last two lines in the second, I guess it's the second verse. I don't know how you guys break them up.
Okay.
But there'll be no celebrations or banner libations, just a sad and lonely wife.
Yeah.
Like, that's cold as fuck.
Yeah. So, like, there isn't really very many quotes, or, like, nobody fucking has a whole lot of things that he said on the internet. So I had to sort of just create shit, and, like, you're trying to speak from his voice, and the one thing that he loved more than anything was killing police officers.
Yeah.
Like, that was his whole fucking thing. So I tried to represent his zest for it.
It's very zesty.
Yeah.
For sure.
And it ultimately led to his undoing.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of questions about this.
Sure.
Back to creative license, whatever. Midwest overcoat.
Yeah.
Was that for phrasing?
No.
Versus Chicago overcoat?
Yeah, it is Chicago overcoat, and I can't quite remember. Like, I think I looked it up and, like, found a couple other variations of it. Like, because obviously I'm not that familiar with American geography that
Sure.
I'd be like, oh, you know, the Midwest around where Chicago is. But yeah, it is Chicago overcoat or Midwest overcoat.
Yeah.
And that's like, it's coffin, right?
Yeah.
But it's also when you
It's a fucking cool. Like, the whole notion of calling a coffin like a Midwest overcoat.
It is
great.
truly badass. But unfortunately, like, if you Google it on Urban Dictionary, it just means you got fucking cummed on by a bunch of guys from Chicago.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dirty.
I know. But that's also pretty funny. Like, that's why I included it.
I'm always, when I think about this era, I'm always a little shocked. Like, Chicago plays a big role in it, but, like, that a lot of this era was the Midwest.
Yeah.
Like, stuff was happening, like, Oklahoma, Minnesota, Wisconsin, like
places where things don't happen anymore.
Right. And so it's, and also that you had Al Capone, John Dillinger, Babyface Nelson, Bonnie and Clyde,
of course,
Machine Gun Kelly, Pretty Boy Floyd.
I don't think Machine Gun Kelly was rocking at that point.
Yeah.
Was he?
I think he was a little bit later than those guys.
When
but
did Tickets to My Downfall come out?
No, not that Machine Gun Kelly.
There's more than one.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Alvin Karpis, who was part of the Ma Barker gang.
Is that MGK's real name? Alvin Karpis?
Yeah.
Alvin.
All of them active
yeah.
in roughly the same 10-year span.
Yeah. Wyatt Earp, Doc Holliday, they were there too.
No, that was before.
Davy Crockett.
Daniel Boone.
Who's that guy that's got the big blue ox?
Babe.
Babe.
What's his name?
I don't know. He's American.
The blue ox's name is Babe.
He's like Big Henry or something like that, isn't he? John Henry.
No.
Derek.
He's the guy that tried to race the railroad.
Yeah, but he wasn't real. And he definitely wasn't real in this era.
Paul Bunyan.
Infamous
I should
serial
know that
killer.
because there's the Paul Bunyan Trophy is played for every year between my alma mater and Michigan State. All of this was happening.
Crooks
Right.
existed
In the same era, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same like decade.
Yeah.
They're all famous enough that we recognize and know these names
At
today.
this point, they're historical figures, right?
They were celebrities of the time. And I can't think of another era in which you had, that we know of, celebrity criminals by name.
Robin
like
Hood.
other than maybe the famous serial killers.
Yeah. Paul
But
Bunyan.
other than that,
Paul Bunyan was a serial killer, wasn't he?
yeah,
Who else was there?
the guy from Tron.
Yeah, Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yep.
He was for sure a serial killer.
But like, isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like today, like back then, those names at the time were famous names.
Yeah.
In America.
Well, it's interesting to think about like what was happening in America at that time. Like it was either during the Great Depression or just afterwards. So it's like everyone had essentially been fucked.
Yeah.
And some people were taking it into their own hands. Like that's why there's so many of them that exist at that time.
Yeah.
Right? It's because people were destitute, so they turned into fucking crime. Or some of them, like Babyface, were probably just fucking pricks. But they turned to like robbing banks and shit. And apparently it was pretty fucking easy to get away with at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't think it could ever happen again. I mean, obviously
I don't think so
things
either.
could get bad, are bad and getting worse. But this time, if people are left completely destitute again, there will be no crime that they can turn to better their situation, really.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think like, I was trying to think of like, who is the closest equivalent today of the celebrity criminal
Yeah.
who is not dead or in jail, right?
Right.
They're an active criminal who is like
Winona Ryder.
Oh, I was going to say Donald Trump
Okay, yeah.
is probably the biggest celebrity criminal.
And we have a very special guest.
What the hell is happening?
Oh my word. Where did this guy come from? Where did that nice hum come from? Ladies and gentlemen,
Is there a hum?
it's Babyface Nelson himself. How you doing, Milen? It's good to see
I'm
you.
so sorry. I did not realize I'd just be interjecting in the middle of
Yep, right into the middle of the episode.
That's exactly what I wanted. That's exactly how it should be.
I got a link and I clicked on it and I thought that it would be like a waiting room or something. My
No way.
apologies.
No way.
No.
You're right in the
Okay.
middle of it, dude. Right in the middle of it and right on time.
Cool.
So we're talking about the song Soliloquy, in which you played an integral, holy fuck, a very important role.
The word I think you were looking for is integral.
Yeah, but I was going to
Integral.
pronounce it integral.
Integral.
I was going to put the
Integer.
emphasis on a different syllable.
An integral role. Yeah, sure.
Integral. Holy
Integral roll.
Integral.
Well, that sounds like
Run 'em both
something you
together.
do to Dave Grohl.
Yeah.
Gross.
Like I'm gonna spit. I'm gonna spit integral. But yeah. So Millsy, first of all, how the heck are you?
I'm not bad, man. How are you? It's been a minute.
Yeah, I'm doing very, very well. And let's talk about your fucking part in this, man. Do you remember? You know what? Before we get to your vocals, there's a bunch of strings on this? There must be.
Yeah, there's lots of stuff in it.
Do you have any thoughts on that shit?
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't as much as other tunes, but I really liked working on this one. There was like that whole "swaddle me in a native blanket" line, and I remember Luke saying that it was like a particularly evil part, and I was like, this was Latin music, and I'm gonna put brass behind it for sure. And I think of that every time. Like he's just like, it's evil, and I'm like, it's kind of sexy.
It is pretty fucking sexy.
Other than that, there's lots of strings in it. I think there's like a big cymbal crash on the last chord of the song. There's like a little piano thing that does the chorus melody to finish it off, which I'm not sure if people picked up on.
Right,
but
yeah, like right at the end, it kind of goes ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, that you'll have to do better than, and then it just switches and cuts it right off. Yeah. Yeah, lots of brass, lots of strings, and that's really about the most I remember. Like very militaristic in the verses. That was a lot of fun. Yeah. I can see if I can pick up those stems and send it to you, but
It's okay.
Yeah. No one wants to hear that anyway. It did take me too long to find them.
Oh, I'm sure people would love to hear it, but
Oh yeah, 100% people would love to hear it. But
so as far as the vocal goes, like a lot of people might not even recognize that that's a feature. Like I told Fritzy, and he was like, "What part does Milen sing?"
Yeah, it's a choir of me's. Yeah. After we went to I think it was Rib Fest, wasn't it?
It was Oshawa Rib Fest.
It was Oshawa Rib Fest, yeah. And we all went.
Yeah.
I had a couple, maybe too many beers.
Yeah, and maybe too many ribs too.
Maybe too many ribs, yeah.
And just one corn though, if memory serves.
I don't remember at all, and I commend you for remembering that.
No, you didn't have a corn.
I don't think I did.
I wish you did.
Next time.
But yeah, so we got a little fucking sloppy at the Rib Fest, and we came back and recorded a part for you.
Yeah.
Which I think sounds just fucking banging there, Millsy.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It was a lot of recording. I thought it was just going to be the one, and then Anthony just kind of like threw a million takes together and made this choir, and I was like, oh,
yeah,
okay, that's not what I was expecting. And I think it started from like doing one of the harmonies of like your entrance there, and then oh no, I think there's a harmony in the back that we started with, and then it went from there. Yeah,
I remember being quite surprised by it as well, that he turned it into a choir, because you were doing a bunch of takes, and I'm going like, these is all good. What the fuck is Anthony
how many more
doing?
do you want?
And then all of a sudden he just fucking like hammered them in and played it, and I was like, oh, fucking cool.
Yeah, you know what? It's fun. I've done gang vocals on like quite a few records, and every time I do them, if I'm singing with other people, the producer or engineer always tells me to be quiet because I am such a loud singer that they're always like, we can only hear you. So it was nice in that situation where I didn't have to care. It was all just loud as can be because I wasn't overshadowing anyone else.
Because it was supposed to be you.
I was in one with Red Handed Denial, and they literally had me at the back of the room because they couldn't hear anyone else.
That's so weird, because like usually like in a group chant, like you want to be fucking loud, right? Like maybe my thinking is that it's like maybe your voice is so specific, or like I don't know, that it just like cuts through and becomes more audible for some reason.
Yeah, I remember in high school, because I was in choir in high school.
Of course.
I was, yeah.
Me too. I was a choir boy in high school too.
Hey,
I was an altar boy.
No, choir boy. I was not an altar boy.
I hope none of you are altar boys.
No.
For your safety.
Not me.
I was just there for the sex. But so you remember in choir, you were saying?
Yeah, my teacher, she was talking about how voices are either pingers or soakers, and it's like in a blend of the soakers like kind of blend together and they like create the wall of sound, but there's people who can just like cut through it if they sing in a specific way, and I think that might just be what it is. My voice is like very forward heavy. It's not great for blending. It's good for cutting through like a knife.
Amazing.
I think I don't think I could sing in a choir anymore. I think it would just be obnoxious, but
some people just naturally project. Right? Just
Now,
why did you guys decide to have you sing on that track? Like anything specific about that track, or was it just like let's go do a thing? Rody?
I knew that we had talked about having Milen do a feature on the record, and I had sort of said to him, like, pick a spot, do whatever you want, dude. And I can't remember if, like, you did say what you wanted to do. I can't remember if it even was this, because this was really just us fucking playing around, right?
Yeah, I have a very fleeting memory of saying there was a part I wanted to do, but I think it was better suited for someone else, or like it just turned into like a solo vocal from you. I can't remember. And then you're like, how about this one? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. Why not?
No.
I love that things like, yeah, you want to try this, like, and it turns into something that is so super memorable on the record, right? That piece at the end of this song is just so big and lush and amazing,
and sounds like fucking vitamin C. You know, remember that graduation song? As we go on, we remember. I think it's just Pachelbel's Canon.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, so is this.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, it's also like Basket Case and shit.
Yeah, it's a lot of songs. But I remember True specifically saying I finally got to use Pachelbel's Canon.
Oh yeah, he's been trying to use it for fucking ever, dude. But so, Emilzy, I've deceived you a little bit this evening.
Okay.
We wanted you to talk about the song for sure, but I wanted you here for another reason as well.
Okay. Am I prepared for this?
No.
I got you a little present.
Okay.
So, 2 days ago, my buddy Chris at the tattoo shop at Get Stoked on It gave me a little tattoo that I got for you. And, it's not going to show up very well because it's a little gushy, but it's a skeleton playing the violin wearing a top hat like you do. You wear your top hat. And behind it says, "Batman sucks." I don't know if
that is just about the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Let me see if I can pull up a picture because it's weeping a little bit, which
I like that you climbed up in your chair.
I know. That's the level of reaction.
This is what it looks like, Milty.
Amazing. I absolutely love it. I'm flattered. Where did this idea come from? I need the whole story, no matter how stupid or profound.
Okay. So he was going to tattoo me, and I didn't really have an idea, and I was looking through his flash. And then I saw this skeleton playing the violin, and the way the skeleton is playing the violin is so funny. Like, his hand is, like, backwards. Mm-hmm. He's playing it kind of like this. And then I saw that, and whenever I see violins, I immediately think of you, and I was like, how can I make this more Millsy? And then immediately just went, Batman sucks. Because for those of you who don't know, Milen is an avid Batman fan. Is that fair to say? Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely. He was literally choosing right before this, and I brought up the score of The Dark Knight, so it's, at some point, my predictability is not anything to be ashamed of.
Now, how much Batman? Like all of the Batman, or like specific Batman?
I think we talked about this a little the last time I was here. Like, who, like, among the Batmans or like the comics and all that, like.
Yeah, like, is there like a specific era?
I was talking to Cheese about this. I think the last time I saw him, I think my top is Kevin Conroy's, the animated series.
Kevin Costner?
Sure. Yes, Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner as Batman.
Yeah.
In the Postman.
In Waterworld.
In
Waterworld.
Yeah, I would say that's it. But otherwise, I've read a bunch of the comics and seen the movies. And I don't know. I'm not particularly fond of Adam West. I get it. It's classic. Not really. Or Michael Keaton. We talked about this.
Yeah, we did talk about Michael Keaton.
Upsetting.
Because Michael Keaton is the Batman.
Yeah, he is the Batman. The Batman was based on Michael Keaton.
Yeah, that's it.
Bruce Wayne was someone else, but Batman himself?
Yeah.
Michael Keaton.
Based on Michael Keaton.
So who's Birdman? Also Michael Keaton?
Yeah.
What's Birdman?
He's another superhero.
Birds aren't real.
We know that. Birds are not real.
So,
have you guys discussed that on the podcast yet?
Birds aren't real?
Yeah.
We were discussing it on what we thought was the podcast.
I didn't hit the record button. But I do want to start a related conspiracy theory called horses aren't real, and all horses are just two people inside a horse costume.
Honestly, that's a more reasonable explanation than horses existing.
Yeah.
I want to start a conspiracy where all people are just two horses in people costumes.
But they are like little horses.
Yeah, like
mini horses.
There is no people. We're all horses.
It's all little Sebastians inside people suits.
Or maybe people are just horses split in two.
Oh my! Maybe we're
And that's
all
why some
just
people are asses.
going out and looking for the other half of our horse.
That's it. That's it.
Maybe that's the purpose of life, is to find your other half of horse.
Yeah, that's it. You find, and then you become a complete horse.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever see the film A Man Called Horse? Where they hang this dude from hooks under his pecs from the ceiling? Doesn't look fun.
Doesn't sound like a nice movie.
No.
It sounds familiar. Maybe I just saw the scene.
We
on
watched
YouTube.
it in school.
I think I watched it on the internet. One of the websites that I
It's the film's called A Man Called Horse, the John Holmes story.
Oh. Was he one of those like circus performers that hangs themselves by loose flaps of skins from rings?
He was captured by native peoples who tortured him.
They probably had good reason.
Yep. I'm kind of surprised we watched that movie in school.
I got to see A Clockwork Orange in high school. I was surprised at that, to be completely honest.
Yeah, for sure.
Like the whole thing, and read the book. Yeah.
Is it good? We watched it in school too, but I did not pay attention.
What schools did you guys go to?
I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. Public school in Canada.
Yeah, Canadian public
I went
schools.
to public school in California, and they weren't showing that. And I'm older than you.
Way older.
Way older. Do you have any interest in this era from Soliloquy, like Gangsters and whatever, bank robber era, Depression era America? And a second question for both of you is, like, these are all obviously like American criminal celebrities. Mm-hmm. Are there Canadian criminal celebrities? Like, were there a bunch of like Canadian bank robbers in the 1930s that we just don't know about because we're ignorant Americans?
I mean, there probably were, but we don't know about them either.
Oh.
Like, we have what I would consider famous serial killers.
Yeah, but not from the 30s.
No, not from the 30s. But maybe.
Maybe.
But I think Americans get too much credit for being ignorant about other countries' histories, specifically Canada, because like we don't fucking know it either.
I feel like most of my Canadian friends know a lot more about American history than I know about Canadian history.
Well, of course.
Like, it doesn't, but why?
America's the world.
That sucks. I don't like that.
America's news and history is fucking entertainment.
Yeah.
And also the development of the United States like widely affected the entirety of the world, right? Like, I guess you could say that a little bit about every country, but not to the same extent as the United States, right?
I think it's also just like in the scope of the world, Canada and the United States being relatively like new-ish countries. Yeah. I think the United States has just had a lot wilder of a ride than we have. That's not to say we don't have history. It's just yours is seen by the world on a very large scale because a lot of stuff went down, and we learn about ours in grade 10 history and forget about most of it.
Yeah, you guys just like kill more people, both internationally and domestically, and I don't know. To me, that just goes to show you're pretty cool.
Yeah. We're cool? I don't know.
Entertaining, that's for sure.
Yeah, I would say entertaining for sure.
Your fucking politics are definitely like entertainment.
Yeah, like I get kind of pissed off when I put on like the BBC and it's all coverage of America stuff. Like I'm watching British news because I want to get away from listening to all the bullshit that's happening here. Stop covering us. Can you please tell me a story about King Charles? You know what I mean? Like,
who?
Isn't he the king? Charles?
I don't know anything about.
He's your king.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, I think he's technically the power of a governor general here. I think.
But he says
the governor general is a representative of the king.
Of the king, yeah.
Yeah. To my knowledge, I just remember, again, very briefly from high school, and I'm sure I'm incorrect that in terms of power, that's basically what they were.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't have any more power over. Yeah, I think you're just a member of the Commonwealth of Nations of Britain or whatever now.
Is he already on one of our bills, or is that going to be a thing?
I'm sure it will.
I don't know. I think we should fucking...
if it's not already.
Disband the fucking royal family. Like, not just, like, dissolve their fucking magic kingdom powers, but make sure they can't see each other anymore. Like, dissolve their family.
Even interact with each other?
Yeah. Like, I'm not talking about dissolving the royal family. I'm talking about dissolving the family.
Like dissolving them in a bathtub full of lye.
Anymore. Your mom died. Fuck all of you. Even Meghan Merkel, she's out.
She's out.
I don't know.
But I mean, what
knew that name?
Kate is good.
+8. Kate
right?
+8?
I don't know. She's the Duchess of something now, I think.
Everybody thinks Kate was the good one, but I think it was John. John was treated unfairly by TLC.
I think that's the true thing, right?
I don't know. Who cares?
I think like the consensus now is that Kate was the bad one.
To answer your question, Fritzy, I don't care about this era of Gangsters.
You don't?
No. Not really.
It's not interesting to you?
It's interesting, surely. But I know there is like a faction of people that like hyperbolize and fantasize about the crimes and like when gangsters were real nice gangsters and like all that shit. And it's like, I don't know. First of all, I think they're exaggerating. Second of all,
well,
I don't care.
I think like a big part of that was on the part of the FBI. So I think like the whole reason why these people became celebrities was like basically J. Edgar Hoover wanting to, like, the FBI was just newly formed at the time and didn't have a lot of power. And he was trying to consolidate a bunch of power in the FBI, and by making out these criminals to be these great big important things, that when the FBI was able to take them down, it was a big deal. And so it was the FBI who was pumping up the narratives and stories of these criminals to make it a bigger deal when they were caught. And
it's like make an example by turning them into like the celebrities that they were.
Exactly.
Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
And so I think Edgar Hoover was the pioneer of COINTELPRO, which sort of is this, right? Counterintelligence, putting a bunch of shit out into the world that's like kind of horse shit, but for the purpose of persuading people things are not as they seem. And the Black Panthers are vilified by... That's 100% true. The Black Panthers were fucking absolutely vilified by COINTELPRO. Like, they were doing things like the breakfast program was introduced by the fucking Black Panthers. And it's like there was all sorts of like really positive things out there. And then we get this image of like militant black men wearing fucking berets with guns and stuff like that because of the fucking information put out by COINTELPRO.
Yeah, 100%. They use the same. It's the same playbook,
tactics,
right? And like so much, like in the early days, like local law enforcement would be like, "Yo, we got Babyface Nelson Like, we know where he is. He's like over here. And like J. Edgar Hoover would be like, do not move, don't move on, whatever. We're sending our own guys in, like, to make sure that it was the feds that caught these guys, and like would actively stop local law enforcement from arresting people and whatever, so that the feds could get all the credit.
The Fedit.
Yeah. Also, why was Babyface Nelson's name Babyface Nelson when his real name was Lester Gillis?
Because probably people called him...
his last name wasn't even Nelson.
Yeah.
I mean, Fritz, I don't even know your name.
I don't have a name.
That's true.
I was
Fritzy
never
is
born.
No one and everyone.
I have been and always will be.
I mean, I'm just saying, from that stretch to Babyface Nelson, we should give you a real cool criminal name.
Or at least a last name. A made-up last name.
I have a made-up last name. It's Callahan.
Yeah, true.
Oh, that's not your real last name?
No.
That's news to me.
Yeah, Fritz Callahan Jr. My father was Fritz Callahan. I'm Fritz Callahan Jr.
But your real name is like Mike Davidson.
No, it's sort of
David
like that.
Michelson.
Oh,
But
David
it's not.
Michelson.
It's not that. I don't care if you know my name. I'll tell you my name.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Keep the mystery alive.
Rody knows my name.
Nuh-uh. I forgot it.
The very first episode, you called me by my name.
I know.
In the very first episode.
Yeah.
So if you want to know, you can hear it. It's fine. I have some trivia. Do you guys want to play some trivia about this?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Sure. I know I just like completely dropped into this podcast out of nowhere. If you guys wanted to keep talking about stuff, I can just peace.
No, we were just talking about this.
If you want to leave, you're welcome to leave.
You can leave if
but
you
you're
want.
also welcome
do you have
to stay.
other stuff to do?
No, not really.
Okay.
I'm happy to play the trivia game.
Okay.
Then welcome to the pod. Hi.
Question number 1. Bonnie and Clyde once kidnapped and then released who? Or is it whom? I don't know the difference. 1. A, the priest that presided over their corpses when they were laid to rest. The daughter of one of the FBI agents who killed them. The undertaker who would bury their bodies. Or their own cousin who they didn't know was their cousin.
I don't know.
I'm going to guess Undertaker because it's, I don't know.
Milen got it.
Okay.
Hey. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that would just be like a really weird but believable coincidence to happen, you know?
All right. Pretty Boy Floyd
Never heard
was
of him.
loved by Depression-era Americans for what specific reason? The photos printed of him in the newspapers were incredibly handsome. B, he burned mortgages when he robbed banks. C, he distributed the money he stole to the poor. Or D, he wrote a lot of poems.
Burn mortgages.
That is correct. He burned mortgages, so there was no record
of
the debt.
Can you imagine what... how stoked people would be if someone burned my mortgage right now? I'd just be like,
I was going to say, that sounds pretty sick. I feel like a lot of people here would be very happy about that.
Oh, yeah.
John Dillinger escaped from prison in Crown Point, Indiana. How? He dug a tunnel out of his cell. He snuck out in the laundry truck. He carved a fake gun out of a potato. Or he fashioned wire cutters out of gardening tools.
I think he snuck out in the laundry truck. But I could be mixing this up with something fictitious.
I'm going to say potato gun because it's hilarious.
It is potato gun.
Wow.
We're 3 for 3, cheese. We got this.
Potato gun.
You're 2 for 3. I'm 1.
Al Capone went to prison for what crime?
Oh, it was, he got caught on the phone saying something. What the fuck was it? Didn't he? Okay, so just give the choices.
Murder. Bootlegging. Bank robbery. Or tax evasion.
Is either bootlegging or tax evasion, Milen?
I'm saying bootlegging.
Okay. I'm saying tax evasion.
It's tax evasion.
Oh, yeah.
Like eventually, they just try and get you on anything that they can prove.
Machine Gun Kelly was married to whom?
Megan Fox.
Catherine Kelly, Megan Fox, Emma Cannon, or Amber Rose?
Amber Rose.
I'm going to say Emma Cannon because it's canon. It's funny.
Catherine Kelly, because the MGK we know has dated all three of those other women, Megan Fox, Emma Cannon, and Amber Rose, but was never married to any of them.
Who's Amber Rose?
She's one of those, I don't know.
Did I sound confident?
Who's Emma Cannon?
Don't know either. It's an actress, some sort of thing.
That seems like a match, like Machine Gun, Cannon. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought it was too good to be true. That's why I was like, that has to.
Imagine a cannon that fired like a machine gun.
Imagine a cannon that shot cannonballs.
Yeah. Or it shot Nick Cannon.
Don't be ridiculous.
It shot Nick Cannon.
It was just one shot right to Nick Cannon. Like, it didn't shoot him out of it. It just shot him once.
All cannons just automatically aim at Nick Cannon.
Yeah.
Well, you guys did pretty good on the trivia.
Yeah.
Superman does good. We did well.
No, you did good. Does Superman really do good?
No. He's a fucking government agent, man. He's a weapon of war.
Did you read the Superman where he's Russian?
I can't read.
I haven't read it, but I know of it.
Oh, yeah, I read it. It's pretty good, actually.
Yeah. Does he work for Putin?
No.
Is he out there making sure everyone's straight
Stalin,
and proud of their
I think.
country?
I think it was Stalin at the time.
Oh.
He's out there making sure everyone's prospering. Everyone has equal opportunity and resources.
I'm pretty sure like the way it turned out was that it didn't matter where he started. Like Superman's intrinsic goodness meant that like although like communism wanted to use him in a certain way, that eventually he just becomes the Superman of good anyway.
What a fucking loser, dude.
That's kind of lame. That's super lame. Not to get like too nerdy about it, but I thought the whole thing was that like his parents like taught him well and he became a decent person despite being a super powered alien, and he's like defending a home that he has no claim to. He just kind of showed up there and now they're like, nah, he's just good no matter where he
intrinsically
lands.
good.
Simple as that. He's just good. And doesn't that make
Superman
an interesting
isn't good, he's
character?
well.
Simplicity. Oh, is he well?
He's well. I'm looking at some of my notes. Why these two? Why Dillinger and Nelson?
Because they met and like were kind of fucking bros.
Yeah, they were.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah,
That's
they
cool.
they teamed up. Mm-hmm. And Nelson joined the Dillinger gang.
Yeah.
But then at the time, Dillinger was the public enemy number one on the FBI's most wanted list, whatever. The whole public enemy thing was created out of this. And when Dillinger died, Nelson moved up.
Oh.
It's funny that Dillinger was so much higher than him in that, because his legacy has been greatly exaggerated.
Dillinger's?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the story of Ma Barker.
Bob Barker?
Ma Barker. Travis Barker.
Oh, Travis.
Did you? I thought it was. You probably can hear this in the audio, but right when I said Ma Barker, my dog barked twice and then stopped barking. Creepy.
That's like ghost stuff.
That like
Ghost
all
dog.
the people like around them, like she was made out by J. Edgar Hoover to be like this criminal mind and like planned all the bank robberies and all this stuff for the Barker gang, which was basically her three sons.
So it's the Goonies.
Yeah. And it turns out that like everybody around him was like, she couldn't plan a dinner. she wasn't planning any of these things. They basically just used her as cover as they were traveling around to look like a mother and her sons and stuff. And she didn't know shit and wasn't really a part of it. They would like send her to the movies while they were robbing the banks and stuff. But it was J. Edgar Hoover who made her out to be this like huge thing at the time.
I honestly would listen to you talk about this crime stuff as a podcast on its own. Can you just do this like all the time? In addition to podcasting.
True crime, historical true crime.
I would listen to that.
Another podcast coming to the Podcast The Hero Network. Is old Fritzy's Crime Talk. He's tough on crime.
Listen to old Fritzy read Wikipedia entries about crimes that happened in the past.
It's just because it's you, Fritzy. That's it.
The weapon of the time, right, has been sort of
hotly debated.
The Thompson submachine gun, right?
Yeah.
Like the Tommy gun, and everybody talks about, you know. But I'm pretty sure like guys didn't use Tommy guns all that much. It was mostly just pistols.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't there.
You probably were.
I might have been.
Do you think anyone actually did like hiding the Tommy gun in like guitar cases and stuff?
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Probably.
I've seen that in movies, but like I guess I do.
Yeah, I thought it was like violin cases, to be honest, which is right down your alley.
You don't know what I do when I'm not at work.
I do. You participate in Dixon Hill Hollow novels.
What?
It's a very specific reference, and I will not explain it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Why aren't you explaining it?
Because it's Star Trek.
This is just such an interesting period of time.
Yeah, right. So earlier when you asked us if we were interested in this period of time, and I responded emphatically no.
Yeah.
I should have flipped it and reversed it and asked you.
No, I could care less.
But you just said.
I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting that like less than 100 years ago, there were just dudes driving around with machine guns, robbing banks, and like
getting away with it.
Yeah. But also, then I think about like that LA robbery that happened in the 90s where those two dudes got like full body armor and like ballistics, everything, and they were just walking down the street with machine guns, like lighting up the cops and stuff.
They're not like celebrities anymore, you know. I think you got to do it in like a suit. You know what I mean? That's the difference.
Yeah.
What if you dress up in body armor? You're being too cautious about it. You got to go into it like you're, you know,
like you're gonna die.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you are.
Has BTH ever done a song about serial killers?
No, I'm scared of serial killers.
You should do one about serial killers so that we can talk about serial killers.
We used to have a song, we used to have a shirt with Albert Fish on it, and on the back it said "Full of Grace," which was a joke RF came up with because one of the children that he killed and ate was a child named Grace.
Oh, that's dark, dude.
Leafs win.
Well, it's preseason.
Just telling you, Leafs win.
The Wings had a goalie that nobody had ever heard of.
Yeah, he's great though.
No, he's not. He was terrible.
Full of grace. Lose gracefully. Lose gracefully. Go Leafs, go.
Fritz?
William Nylander.
Nothing.
He's watching Willie's. He's watching the preview or the replay where Matthews feeds Willie. Willie feeds the back of the net. And
I liked when the Leafs had a power play early in this one, and then Austin Matthews, 5 seconds into the power play, draws a penalty for goaltender interference against a goalie who was likely going to skate over to the glass and fall down at some point during that power play.
I wasn't watching the game at that point.
Well, I was listening to it on the radio.
I was in a McDonald's play place.
I was
By
sitting.
yourself, obviously.
That's awesome because I also
correct.
was in a McDonald's
Play place?
at that moment. You and I were both in a McDonald's at the same time.
Sometimes when I look up the moon, I wonder if you're looking up at it at the same time.
I'm not.
The moon isn't real.
Is the moon another lie?
No, the moon is made
Horses,
of cheese.
The horses, the moon, and the birds. All of them. Not
All
real.
of them not real.
And
Everything is not real.
The male orgasm.
Oh, that's a myth.
That's a myth.
Yeah. I've never experienced that personally.
No,
Poppycock.
that's what they call it.
Oh, why do they name popcorn that? Do you guys not have poppycock popcorn?
No.
No.
Is it
If somebody
nothing like
tried to-
popping some cock in your mouth?
Somebody tried to poppy some cock in my corn.
Yeah,
I'd be
there you go.
upset.
This podcast has gone way off the rails.
Yeah, let's get it back on here. Okay, so his fucking death, Babyface's Nelson's death, is fucking all over this. He was driving down the road, and police officers, like cops, drove past him. They didn't fucking notice him, and he got he was such a fucking moron
Yeah.
and loved killing cops so much that he was like, hold on. He had a couple of people in the car, and he was like, I'm turning around. I'm going to chase those cops. And he chased them, and he caught up with them, and he did kill them, I believe. And one of them was executed with the pistol to the head. He walked up, fucking killed him. But, sorry, I got these eggs that I keep shaking. And in doing so, he took a round through the fucking belly. And thought he was sick, thought he was such a badass that he could just fucking keep rolling, and someone else had to drive the car at that point. They drove him back, and he fucking died. And he requested to be wrapped in what they refer to as an Indian blanket, which I couldn't bring myself to say because this feels fucking super wrong.
Yep.
And left outside of the church. And that's exactly what they did, and that's exactly what I said in the song.
Cheese, I got a question for you about this tune, actually, while I'm here. And then I'm going to piece as quickly as I came.
Wait, did you
I'll have that
say
hanging there.
you're going to pee as quickly as you came?
Yes, that's exactly what I said. Exactly what I said. Very quickly.
It's just a short pee.
Milen pees in spurts.
Yeah. It was just
So pee,
little tiny bit at a time.
It makes that sound,
Pee.
too, actually.
pee, dribble.
And it feels
Dribble.
really good.
Just out of the whole concept, I don't know if you covered this earlier, but out of the whole concept of palimpsest, why specifically write about not just these two guys, but the idea of these celebrity criminals in general? Is it because of the sort of notoriety being such a big thing in American history? Why that specifically?
Yeah, I think that sort of is it, right? It's that the time created these celebrities who were ultimately kind of fucking villains, right? And this song is about that, just his existence for the most part within that era and his rise to fame. Reverie, where the actual conclusion sort of is about how these people were idolized and still are idolized. People love to fucking talk about Dillinger he was such a badass, and I was like, man, he fucking, his very first robbery, he got arrested and went to jail for a long time.
Yeah.
He got recognized right off the hop, and it's he was just in and out of jail after that for most of his life. And from what I read, what he really wanted was an ordinary fucking life.
Yeah.
He wanted a white picket fence. He didn't want any of this shit. And people want to fucking stroke their little dinks thinking about how cool he was. And I think their little dinks need to be put away and kept away forever.
Sheathed and gone.
Maybe snipped off.
Oh.
Maybe we snip off the dinks. Maybe we snip off all the dinks.
Oh, I don't want that.
Well, sorry, Fritzy.
I also sort of wanted to know about, like, so there's the reformed or refined as if by design by a prison system that's all but resigned when the ideal prisoner should spend his life drifting back and forth, right?
Yeah.
So there is a definite tie to current American criminal system, a for-profit system that makes money off recidivism.
Super cool word.
No interest in reform.
No.
Right? The idea is if you can get them back, there's more money for you. And the more prisons we build, the more money we can make.
Yeah. Privately owned prisons that are often owned by the fucking very judges that sentence people to them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I did not know that, but that makes a lot of sense.
It's fucked.
Yeah. It's like people who fucking fill them up own them. It's fucking wild.
Yeah.
And like there's a whole lot to the prison conversation, right? Because like it is one way that the United States kept slavery alive. You know, and then like there's more than that. It's prison in the United States.
In the Constitution
as well.
It's in the in our Constitution that says slavery is abolished, right? Except in the case when it is for punishment for a crime.
Yeah.
And that's the piece that's still legal today.
Yeah.
So if you create a bunch of crimes, they're going to take all the people who used to be slaves and make them have committed crime, then they can be slaves again. And it happens to this day all across America.
Yeah. And
there's so much industry in this country that is driven off of prison labor that it's ridiculous. And they get 15 cents a day. It is literal slavery.
There's a quite clever song. I forget what the dude's name is. It's a country singer, but the song is all about a man in prison that is creating the license plate for whatever specific state. The state slogan is "Live Free or Die," and he has to the song's called "Live Free or Die," and he just constantly every day has to work making license plates, stamping "Live Free or Die" onto fucking license plates while incarcerated. It's funny. You guys would love it.
On that note, I'm gonna peace, guys. I gotta run.
All right, peace, Hercules, Milen.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming in.
Amazing. Yeah, of course. Barging in, more like it. And
No,
I'll do
it's
it again.
great. We need it like that all the time.
The tattoo is sick.
Thank
I'm
you so
getting
much.
ideas. I might have to retaliate.
Good.
I'll keep you updated.
All right.
Thanks.
Peace.
Oh, you know what would really get me back for this? If he
What?
got something racist tattooed. Oh, that'd get me so bad. Like if he got a swastika or something. Oh, no, Milen, you got me.
An Al Jolson tattoo.
Oh, no, he got blackface tattooed on his face.
Yeah, he got a tattoo of Ted Danson with doing blackface at Whoopi Goldberg's birthday.
Is that a thing that happened?
Yeah.
Oh, my word. Teddy D. Put it away.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of went over everything that I had. Do you remember anything specific from the sessions for this?
No.
No?
I mean, I remember specifically that day that Milen came. It was a ton of fun. Him, Tony, Cage.
Did you guys do it at your house?
Yeah, it was all done at my house, all the vocals. And we went to the Oshawa lakefront because they were having Rib Fest. You guys must have Rib Fest in the States. I'm sure.
I'm sure.
It's
Not
a
anywhere
fucking
near
American invention.
We have the Strawberry Festival near me.
Oh.
It's not great.
That sounds like Dutch or something.
Yeah, it's not great.
You know, one of the last times I went to a rib fest, for some reason, Caitlin doesn't eat pig, so she was like, oh, let's just split something different. And in my head, I was like, hey, could I get a full rack of chicken ribs, please? And the guy was like, what's up? And I was like, the chicken, please. Full. Like, just like, I don't know where my head was, because chicken's ribs are like that big.
Yeah.
And then I got like a chicken breast, and I was like, oh, okay.
That makes sense.
Yep. And then my brother-in-law was like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Get a full rack of chicken ribs.
I was like, I never thought about how small little chicken
They make beef ribs.
Yeah, that makes sense. Cows are huge.
Do you think human ribs are good?
Yes.
Why do you think they're good?
Because I believe... Now here is... I don't love talking about this because it's... it's not great. But growing up, RF always used to say that human meat wouldn't be very good because it's like very akin to horse meat. Based on our musculature and stuff like that, and that horse meat is very stringy and very tough. Now, if his assertion about human meat and horse meat being similar is the same, I have eaten several full horses. No, but in Japan you can get horse meat.
Sure.
And I have eaten it a couple times, and I will say it is quite delicious. So, on the assumption that RF was mistaken about how it was, but correct about the similarity
that it was,
I would say that human meat, if it's anything like horse meat, and I've only had it raw, I'd say that human meat is pretty good.
Now, would it surprise you now to understand that when you thought you were eating horse meat, you were actually eating human meat? Because we now know that all horses are just two humans in a horse suit.
Horse suit, and all humans are two smaller horses.
Yep. So you've eaten human meat,
and I've very much enjoyed it. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Would it be good with like a sauce?
Probably horseradish. Fresh, shaven horseradish.
That makes me want to die.
It does?
It's just such a perfect answer.
If you die, can I eat you?
Yeah. 100%. Look, if we were ever in a situation where my supple, tender body was available to sustain you, right? Yeah. If we were in like an alive situation where our small plane crashed in the Andes, yes, please do eat me to survive.
Could I also cut you open and sleep inside you like the tauntaun?
Yes, you could. I think that would be very funny.
Yeah, me too. Just waking up being like, Fritzy.
Rody. And you're like, hello? Oh, it's cold out here.
Dude. I like it a lot. I think this is our last podcast before I hit the road.
Is it?
Possibly.
Oh my God, it is.
Yeah, and
you're gonna be gone forever.
5 weeks.
Yeah, this podcast is done.
No,
it's canceled now. It's canceled
because we're gonna we're gonna be there a couple nights, but whatever. Yeah. We're gonna do this from the road, and it's gonna be fucking incredible. Yeah. And on top of that, we're going to have a real sponsor for the first episode in Detroit.
What?
We've got a real one. And by sponsor, I do not mean money. We are not getting paid at all, but there is.
This episode is sponsored by old Fritzy and his wife. They offered to let us sleep here if we didn't want to sleep in the bus.
That's true. You did do that.
Yeah.
But we do want to sleep on the bus.
I know you do.
It's nice.
If Hank can't get over the border, though, he's going to have to just come stay here.
Why won't Hank be able to get over the border?
I don't know. There's some sort of airline strike. Or airline worker strike or something.
Oh. We're way off track, but we've done it. We've talked about the song.
Yeah, we achieved what we wanted to achieve.
I achieved a fucking boner.
Did you?
Yeah.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe you.
Oh, you know what I had for dinner today?
You had a Big Mac.
No.
You said you did.
I had a big old plate of shit and go fuck myself. Remember last week when I was talking about licking your brother's fucking hoop?
Yeah.
That was a good outro. We should end every show with us just yelling about your brother's hoop. Adam's hoop.
Yeah.
Jehu.
I hope he can come to the Sacramento show so you can meet him.
See his hoop.
And maybe
see his hoop.
Tell him to eat shit and go fuck himself, because it's like my dream.
Yeah, me too.
For him to eat shit and go fuck himself all the time. I love him, but I just
want him to eat a plate of fucking feces.
Yeah, and his own.
Turn his penis backwards through his legs.
Yep.
Stick it in his hoop.
Yep.
And go to completion.
That's our dream.